Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your January 2021 tarot reading. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season and also a Happy New Year. And thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I'm actually going to be bringing those back in January, so I'm recording this in December, but when we physically get to January, I'll actually start them up again, and I'll make an update on the channel letting you guys know when it'll be. Let's see, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled a couple of Oracle cards and a Mudra card for you guys. So let's get started with the main spread. The main situation position, we have Strength. So this is actually the major arcana card for Leo. And toward the very end of January, there's actually going to be a full moon in Leo. So it could be pointing to that as far as the timeline goes with the significance there. But really what I'm seeing here primarily is it looks like you guys could just be biting your tongue around a certain situation. Maybe you're withholding some information. I can see it going a couple of different ways. One way I could see it is, just a super generic example. Say you're with your family because of holidays, right? And you have drastically different views on a subject than they do. And rather than actually engage them and express your point of view, you might just say, you know what, it's not even worth it. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut, right? Another way this could be playing out, though, is you guys might have an actual, maybe a project you've been working on that you've been keeping under wraps that you're not ready to reveal quite yet. So that could be another way where you might be really excited about it because it looks like it's something you're passionate about, but at the same time, you're like, you know what, I'm not going to mention anything about it just yet. I'm going to keep my mouth shut for the time being. That's another way it could be playing out. And for others of you, I will say this could also point to, maybe you're withholding feelings for someone. You might have a very passionate attraction toward them, but for whatever reason, you might not be willing and able to open up about that just yet. All right, in the challenge or obstacle position, we have the Nine of Cups. So this is actually Pisces energy here. Usually you might hear this referred to as the Wish card. But usually this represents contentment, reaching a certain point where you're happy with yourself, kind of like a self-love energy. It's like you know what you bring to the table, right? And because of that, you're not going to settle. So could just be the energy that you guys are in right now. But with this showing up in the challenge position, could be pointing to what I was saying as far as if there are people in your environment that you feel might be really dug in on a certain situation where okay, I believe something totally different from them, but at the end of the day, I know it's not even worth it to bring it up with this person because they're so set in their ways, it's not even going to go anywhere, right? So that's one way that could be playing out. But yeah, it could just be saying that whatever this is that you are keeping under wraps, it's something that you're very happy about, but for whatever reason, it seems like you're just not quite ready to bring that out just yet. In the foundation position, we have the King of Swords. So this is actually Aquarius energy here, which for you guys is your third house communication. And at the time I'm recording this, it hasn't happened yet, but soon we're going to have Jupiter and Saturn both moved into Aquarius. And so basically in January for sure they'll be in there. But yeah, could just be saying that you're pretty sure of what you want to do. I feel like there is some confidence there. You're like, okay, I'm ready to do this, but for whatever reason, again, with this detached energy here, I feel like you're just not quite willing to communicate it just yet. So I don't think that it's anything as far as you guys might be concerned that people might change your mind. I feel like you're pretty sure of yourselves, but for whatever reason, you're just keeping it under wraps as far as communicating it goes. All right, in the past position, we have the Four of Swords. So this is actually Libra energy and usually represents just, going through a healing process. Now, this is a healthy indicator of a healing process as well. Naturally, this is the card that comes after the Three of Swords. So it could just be saying you guys might have gone through a disappointment recently, a setback. From the energy I'm seeing there, it looks like you guys are already moving past that, but could be due to the fact that you actually decided to take the time out to do the proper healing. For some of you, this could just say that, maybe you've just been rethinking some things too, and that could be part of it too, where you're like, okay, well, now I have this new thing I've been working on, but I'm not quite ready to put it out there yet, or possibly even a belief system that you've changed, but maybe you're just not ready to express it just yet. All right, in the present position, we have Judgment. So at the very least, this looks like this is pointing to things from your past being brought back out again. Like I said, especially since I am technically recording this in December, this could still point to, again, that connection with maybe your visiting family and there's some things being discussed. And yes, you might have left those beliefs behind, but maybe it just naturally comes up in conversation when you're around them. That's one way. When I do see this, though, in this particular context, I feel like it's saying that whatever this is that's coming back around again, it's basically happening for the purpose of you guys actually, communicating and expressing yourselves. So that's why I see there, something to keep in mind. And I do have to say also, I do view this as a Scorpio energy, and for you guys, that's your 12th house. So this could just be something that's been beneath the surface in your subconscious for a long time, and now it's finally coming back up for you guys. All right, in the near future position, we have the Hierophant. So this is actually Taurus energy, and the sign of Taurus is going to be really busy in January. Mars is going to be moving in there around the 8th or 9th, I believe. And then we're going to have, it's going to meet up with Uranus, that's already in Taurus. And then those planets are going to make square aspects with Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. So there's going to be some pretty intense energy. That could definitely point to beliefs, of course, with all those things, and definitely old versus new. So that could be what's at play here. And again, like I said, it could just be as simple as you go home to see your family to have their belief system that you were raised on, but you're not really there anymore. But again, it could just be coming back up, possibly for you guys to look at again. All right. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So in the upright, this usually points to defending yourselves, standing up for yourselves, usually successfully doing so as well. It's more Leo energy too. I can't remember if I mentioned that yet or not. But with this in reverse, I'm getting, again, that same vibe that for whatever reason you guys are sure of yourselves, you have the confidence, but for whatever reason you just seem to be holding back. Like I said, maybe because in your mind you realize, you know what, it's not even worth it, because on the one hand, it sounds like I'm saying that, yes, you're very much set in your ways too, but that could be part of why you're looking at it from that higher perspective, like, okay, I'm set in my ways with my beliefs. The other person is also set in their way in their beliefs, so what's the point of us even discussing this? You know what I mean? So you could just be like, let me just conserve my energy and not even bother, In the environment position, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is a good card to see come up in the environment for you guys. This is Virgo energy, which for you guys is your 10th house of career and social status. So for some of you, this could just be saying that you have some success going as far as your career goes. And that could even be maybe what some of you are keeping under wraps. Maybe you got some news regarding your career, some positive news, but for whatever reason, you're excited about it, but you're like, okay, I'm not really going to mention it just yet. And that could be what that Seven of Wands even is, where you know that if you do bring it out, people can have tons of questions for you, and you're like, you know what, this just isn't the right time yet. But for others of you, if this represents someone else in your environment, looks like they're very traditional, and at the very least, they want to bring stability to you. So, just a generic example, let's say maybe you're very much on an independent streak right now, and then this person might be a bit more traditional and wants to have a traditional type of commitment, right? Just a super generic example, just looking at the cards I see here. And maybe in the past you have decided to turn those types of things down, but maybe this is saying, well, just give it another look, right? Again, I feel like you're pretty sure of yourselves though, but for whatever reason, it looks like it is coming back up again for you guys to express yourselves. And in that regard, maybe it actually will lead to something more productive, and possibly even where a compromise can be found between the two sides. That's at least a possibility. All right, in the position of the hopes or fears, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is actually Aries energy here. So it looks like this is just saying that you want to stay in that confident, steadfast energy where you're like, okay, I know what I'm about. I'm not really gonna, let anyone sway me in that regard. And also just being able and confident to take action when needed to. Could even just be saying, another way I could see this, given that this has come up in the hopes or fears position, maybe you're feeling like there's an imbalance with your masculine and feminine energies. And the reason I say that is going back to the strength card here. You know, we see, like, if we look at that representing the masculine, right, and the feminine is kind of having to hold it back. So it could just be saying that you're hoping to embrace your more feminine qualities for whatever reason during this month. So that's another way I can see that playing out too. But also still, you know, so put it this way, the Aries energy kind of is an example of that balance, because Aries energy is generally pretty masculine, but obviously we see a queen energy here. So it's like being able to have both of those energies, but functioning well and still have that confidence, basically. All right, in the outcome position, we have the Three of Swords. So this is Libra energy here, and it's interesting because we have the Four of Swords in the past position, and now we see the Three of Swords in the outcome. So this can just be a matter of whatever this is that does come back around. Maybe there is some healing that still needs to take place around that, and maybe that's even why it comes back up, to point out to you, hey, you know, it looks like there's something you're being urged to do to actually get to that healing place. But I will say I don't feel like this is going to be a huge major thing to get there. I feel like you guys have probably gotten pretty close. And like I said, it could just be more of, like, on a karmic level, there might need to be some kind of dialogue between you and another person around what your beliefs are versus theirs, in order to really truly get the healing, you know, as opposed to, so for example, this could just be saying, if you guys don't express yourselves, you know, you might leave the situation, like I said, the super generic example, you go visit your family for a few days for the holidays, okay, they have drastically different beliefs from you, you don't even bother to tell them that, hey, this is what I believe now. And then you might leave, and then for whatever reason, you might regret the fact that you didn't speak up. You know, like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should have told them this and that. Could just be something like that. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is actually Pisces energy here. Usually represents walking away and looking for something more fulfilling. So for a lot of you, I feel like you've already gone through that process, and that could be why that Nine of Cups is there. Could just be saying that you're close, but again, I feel like there's something around you guys needing to express yourselves in order to truly get there. So, and with that said, keep in mind, toward the very end of the month, we're going to have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, which is your third house communication. So just be mindful of that too. It could be one of those things where you finally do decide, okay, now I'm going to express myself, right? I'm ready to do it. And lo and behold, it's right when the Mercury retrograde kicks off in your house of communication. So it could just be that your words might get misconstrued, for example. So, you know, just knowing that could help, but just wanted to mention that. All right. Moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we have Clean It Up. There's the artwork, and the number is 21. So I will say, just looking at this, someone else got this recently too, can't remember who, but just looking at this though, regarding what we were saying, I feel like this is probably going to cover that theme where it's saying, you know, there is just something, you're close, really close, but there is something that you're being called to look at again, possibly around expressing yourself and your beliefs, and then you'll be able to truly move forward, but we'll see what it says. Okay, it says, getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. The Oracle's message. Ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home also? Too much work? Overwhelmed? Time to clean house. Every item out of place natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds up to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. Now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. Make room for the miracles that are lining up for you. So definitely an interesting message there as far as being overwhelmed. I will say, you know, you guys had some heavy energy in your second house of Capricorn, which is finances. And so you guys could have just had a real heavy focus there, for example, and maybe it got you where you wanted to go, since we do see that 10 of Pentacles in the environment position. But maybe now it's saying, like I said, now that Jupiter is moving out of there and Saturn, more importantly, is moving out of there, it could just be saying, all right, take a bit of a breather now, you know. You won't lose the progress you made, but you might just need that little reset so you can move forward and then actually truly be happy. All right, the relationship message says, time to clear the air, take a look at your side of the street, and say what's on your mind. Sweep away the old stuff so that a spring breeze can flow through with new energy. It's the perfect time to do an inventory of your dynamics and see what's yours and what's not yours to clean up the relationship. Everyone brings some baggage. Sort through what you brought with you and let go of what is no longer needed. Become unencumbered and your relationship will flourish. So, pretty positive message there. Again, it does seem to point to expression, right? And like it says, you know, maybe there have been some things that were swept under the rug, and maybe you were taking on the burden of someone else's beliefs that, you know, maybe you're like, you know what, I mean, not even bring it up because I might offend them, right? But it could just be saying that that could lead to some resentments you might hold on to, and even though you might feel like it's the better thing to do, could just lead to tension bubbling beneath the surface in that regard. So hopefully that resonated. The prosperity message says simple things like opening your mail, paying bills, sorting out your timetable, making lists, and getting organized is what the symbol means when it comes to your work. Make time for yourself too. This card is a sign you may be overburdened and overwhelmed. It's okay to say no. You'll prosper even more if you do. So definitely a pretty good message there as far as, you know, trying to avoid taking on too much, and maybe that's what the Seven of Wands in reverse might point to as well. You know, with the Seven of Wands in the upright, that to me would represent you telling people like, look, I have too much on my plate right now, I can't really do it. So in that regard, the Seven of Wands in reverse could represent you guys not standing up for yourself and saying, look, I just can't possibly do this right now, you know? So something to think about there. All right, next we have Cow Spirit. It says the miracles are endless. There is the artwork, and the number is 15. Okay. Oracle's message says you are at a beautiful point in your life today, for your needs are being met effortlessly and in so many ways. Fully embrace this truth by focusing on all you have right now, including the positive relationships that sustain you, the work you are proud to do to contribute to the world, and the activities that inspire you and nourish your soul. Cow Spirit nudges you to pay attention because this is the perfect time to focus on the choices, actions, and behaviors that you know feed your soul and bring your heart contentment. Now is also the time when you will see many of your projects and commitments that were set in motion in the past begin to yield valuable gifts that will bring you joy and love and sustain you for a long time to come. Stay positive and share your well-being with others. The more you share, the more you'll manifest, so be generous. Cow Spirit promises you will never run out of miracles. So definitely a pretty positive message there. There are some things that could point to a bit of abundance, you know, that Nine of Cups, like I said, also the Ten of Pentacles. So hopefully that resonated with you guys also. All right, and lastly we have a Mudra card for you guys, and the Mudra you guys got for this month is the Kashyapa Mudra. There it is there. Keyword for it is preservation. Okay, let's see. Well, looks like everything fits in the frame there, so if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, you can. That says grounding and centering, balances masculine and feminine qualities, protects against negative energies and unfriendly or confused spirits, sometimes called orphan spirits. So interesting there that it says the balances masculine and feminine qualities, because I did pick up on that a bit for some of you. So if that's the case, if you feel like this would be a beneficial mudra for you guys, I'll put the name of it in the description of the video as always. Once again, hope you guys are having a good holiday season and Happy New Year. I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.